Hey, collective. So, just wanted to take some time and have a meal with you guys. I'm gonna take some of my rings off here. I was about to do a reading, but then I thought about it. Like, I want to talk to you guys about my coming into this. How did I get to tarot? How did I get from the church to tarot? And I just want to have a meal with y'all. Let me move my water over here. That's water, y'all. That is not alcohol, okay? I do partake, but that is not alcohol. But you know I got my Valentina. I'm going to turn that around so I don't get flagged. This was one of the first cards that I got with one of the first decks that I got, and that's Kiwi Jasper. I keep this card for many different reasons, okay? And it's funny that I was going through my box. I mean, y'all saw my other videos. That was just a few of the decks that I have, but this Kiwi Jasper is important to me because with emotional support, I'm anxious sometimes, alleviating tension. I'm usually A-type personality about a lot of stuff. And then, of course, peaceful resolution. With the first two, you can understand why I need the last. And I'm a Taurus, and most people think that Tauruses are aggressive people, and some of us are. Not gonna lie about that. Some of us are. So let me get the rest of my food. But what I wanted to share with you guys was my experience that I did not know was an attempt at a destiny swap. Now, if you're not familiar with destiny swap, especially if you have read the Bible at any point in time, you know the story of the sons. There was a father that was passing. I forget his name. I'm not even going to lie. There was a father that was passing away, and he was going to transfer his spiritual power and all these other authoritative things in the family onto his oldest son. So, that's good. So, what happened was the younger son wanted that mantle. It's called a mantle. When an elder, whether they be here or not, y'all see my coleslaw. I love some coleslaw, y'all. Listen, collective, don't pick on me. This is my splurge day, okay? I did not splurge on or Independence Day, okay? I did not. This is my splurge day, and I'm going to splurge and tell you guys while I eat my food about my experiences. But yeah, so the younger son, he wanted the oldest son's destiny. That's essentially what was happening. He wanted his authority, his stature, his patriarchy. He wanted to be in charge. He wanted all of that. His wealth that was coming, but not understanding that the reason that the father chose that son is because he was responsible. So what the younger son ended up doing, and this is in the King James Version. This was my first. I don't know why people don't realize this. That this type of stuff, this type of witchcraft is actually accounted for in the King James Bible. And I'm not here to argue with anybody. I'm here to share my story. If I catch you arguing in the comments, just know. But anyway, and I feel that my collective is wise enough not to do that. And I feel that you're mature enough not to even care. Okay, you all know who you are. If you don't know who you are already, you're becoming who you are. You know yourself. So be strong in that. But anyway, and I have some whiting fish and chicken tenders and fries. This is a very simple meal. This is nothing that I cooked. I picked it up on the way home. But what the son did, he took some wool because the oldest son was hairy. He had a hairy body. I don't know why that's funny to me every time I think about this story. Every time I read the account. But he had a hairy body. And he tricked the father into believing that he was the older son by putting the wool on his back and going into the father's tent and disguising his voice as such. And the father blessed him, in the name of God. In the name of God. Yes, blessings were coming before Jesus came. Please know that. But in the name of God, the father blessed this young man with the family mantle that was supposed to go to someone else. A successful destiny swap. That's crazy. He waited until the father was weak, blind, and about to die. It's freaking crazy. But that brings me to this. People do destiny swaps on folks who don't know their power. They don't know their place spiritually. They don't know, and not to say you don't know yourself spiritually, you may not know the assignment completely. Like a lot of people who get attacked, they think, oh, people are doing this because they just hate me as a person, and I'm doing something wrong, and my karma, I earned it. If you know that you've been putting positive energy out, not just positive, but righteous energy, meaning your intent was right, no ill will towards others, you haven't done anything sneaky, lying, all of that deceit and stuff is away from you, then there's nothing that you've earned karmatically. There's nothing that you've earned. It's all because people see the things that come with the mantle and the power and the destiny. See, they see the end result. They don't see the journey. And I'm going to tell you just two instances where I realize now that I have learned. 2 instances in my life where destiny swap was attempted on me. Okay? And to all of those that are getting attacked and you don't know why, and it's coming up out of nowhere, and this is retrograde. So some stupid witches believe that when you do magic during retrograde, it enhances the magic, which it does. However, it also enhances what comes back to them. So a lot of that shit is failing, because those that are of high energy, listen, those that are of high energy, you ain't getting that shit. You may feel the residuals. Something negative may happen, yes, but it won't last. That's how you know if you've earned it. The shit will last. It will carry out. Y'all don't think I'm gonna finish this whole plate. And I ain't eating nothing but fries. But what I want you guys to know is that when I went through my energy swap situations, I didn't know that God was so close to me. I didn't know my ancestors were so close to me. I didn't know who I was, and I didn't know that my destiny entailed coming to you guys. I didn't know that my destiny was to inspire people. I didn't know. I had no idea. I was trying to live under the doctrinated rhetoric of someone else telling me and judging me. Another human being still walking this earth who doesn't even know what the other side looks like. Not even in the slightest. And they think they may know God. But I tell you, the day of judgment is not going to be nice regardless. It's not going to be one person judging. And it's definitely not going to be based on the things that we think it is. We offend God in ways that we don't know. That's written in multiple texts, not just the King James. But let me get to the first destiny swap, okay? Because I don't want to hold you guys up and I really want to smack on my food. So the first destiny swap was a situation where I was in a church. You can call it a religious building, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it what it is because I'm going to tell the truth. It was a church. And there were a couple instances where people would ask me questions, like, the lay members, rather, not anybody that had any office of any sort. And they would become inspired. They started to change habits. They started to make plans for their lives, things that they had never thought of. They started to pray on their own. See, somebody who wants your destiny doesn't want you to know that you don't need them. They want to attach in any way possible. Any way possible, whether it's through means of sex, whether it's through means of creating a need, so putting you in a financial situation where you have to depend on them, creating a spiritual need. I had fallen into that third category, creating a spiritual need. I was always the person to want to make my own money, no matter whether I was broke or not. I always wanted to earn my own tangible money, and that made me feel good. That was nothing against anybody else. But what was going on with me, this particular place was, I think I'm going to put this right here because this is spicy. Y'all don't fuck around with this Valentina too hard if you don't know what spice is, baby. A Mexican hot sauce. And I love it. Thank you to my Latinas and Latinos. I thank you. But yeah, this particular leader at this particular church would deny me prayer. They would deny me prayer. They would tell other people to deny me prayer. Because you know there's power in numbers. It doesn't matter. It does not matter what you're doing. There's power in numbers, honey. But I realized that the persons were trying to destiny swap with me when they were trying to force me to do things I didn't want to do. That's another thing. It's not even so much of that you don't want to do it, because there are stubborn people like myself in the world, okay? I am stubborn. However, I didn't feel right in my heart. I didn't feel right sitting in front of people, talking about something that I barely had an understanding of, and then honestly that I didn't fully agree with. I'm just being honest. I grew up in the church, but I also grew up in a very different era of the church. I grew up in a very different era. I'm not yet 40, but I grew up with my elders. My grandma, granddad. My mom isn't young. Well, to me, she's young. But I grew up with my elders. Hold on while I sip, y'all. And one thing that I know for sure is that they took their spiritual standing very strong. 1144. They took their spiritual standing very strong. Prayer was not a show. Deliverance or casting out of demons and all these things, fighting spiritual warfare, that was not a show. There were no cameras. Nobody talked about it after it happened. It was just a celebration of victory for the person who overcame. Okay? And that's what I'm used to. So one day I was sitting, I realized that there was something off about this place and that I needed to go. When one of the members in the church fell ill, and she was honestly incoherent. She was not responding to any type of stimuli or anything. Her mother was very worried. She said that this has happened before, and she's very scared. The last time that it happened, she had to be hospitalized. So the mom's worried. Let me eat my fish. So mom calls me over. It's the middle of the night, probably like 9 or 10. To me, that's the middle of the night. And I go in. The girl is in her bedroom, and there's 2 other people from the church there. Nobody's praying. People seem to be smiling and laughing. It was just very weird. This girl is seemingly dead. She was not responding to any stimuli whatsoever. You could poke her with something sharp or hot or anything. We did. I pinched her and everything. Nothing. There was no response. Something told me in my belly, 1323, when I looked at this, these numbers are important to someone. Something told me to touch her feet, the bottom of her feet. I touched the bottom of her feet, and it was very hot. Like, literally, I snatched my hand back. That's the warmth. Then something said, check her pulse. When I placed my 2 fingers onto her wrist to check her pulse, my blood began to, I felt it. Like it was like a tingly sensation, and my blood began to rush really fast. I felt my heart rate pick up, 14 minutes even. I felt my heart rate pick up so fast. And I went to her mom, and I whispered to her mom, I said, this is a blood issue. And her mom looked at me like really crazy. She's like, what the? And she's like, how did you know? And I was looking confused because I was like, I don't know how I know. I just know it's a blood issue. What it came to be was that the young lady had an issue with her T cells. I think that the red blood cells in her body since she was a wee child. Yeah. So the mom began to pray, and me, I'm a spiritual warrior now. And even then I was still the type to ask God for something and believe that it's done, and it's done. nothing's changed. Nothing has changed with my belief system. I know that God is God, and I ask him and he hears me. He's not a liar. And I say he because that's what I refer to. Source, spirit, use whatever word you want. This is a safe place, okay? Use whatever word you want so we can be on the same page. But she began to pray and I began to pray. Now the two other members are there. They're not praying at all still. So one of the members leaves. It's a female. She left. The male that was still there was the son to the leader. He's on the phone with the leader. She's asking, how did I get there? I can hear her clearly. And if you're watching, here's the account of me knowing that you're fake. Here's the account of me knowing that you sent something to someone. It's so crazy. 1551. You tried to swap with this person and almost killed them. But okay, I'm going to continue. So the mother is praying. I'm praying. We are in the middle of praying. The young man is on the phone. All of a sudden, he starts to pray. But his prayer, and anybody who's familiar with speaking in tongues, 1616, anybody who's familiar with speaking in tongues, his tongues, all the tongues are very different. But I'll tell you this. When you read about the upper room situation in the Bible, where the people started to speak in tongues for the first time, where the cloud of the smoke of the Holy Ghost came in, if you read that, they spoke in the language of the people that were there. The people that were there could understand what they're saying. His language sounded very different than what the mother and I were speaking. Okay, we were not speaking a language that we knew just off the top of our heads, of course. This was a holy language. And I still believe that those things are possible. I still do those things. And things still come to fruition for me. So it works for me. Whatever works for you, works for you. Okay, if you pray in Latin, somebody prays in patois, continue. If it works for you, it works. That's how God speaks and communicates with you, dear. So he starts to pray in a different tongue. And then all of a sudden, I guess he starts to get uncomfortable. And I know that there's something going on here that's not supposed to go on. And they don't want me privy to it. So I tell the mom, we stop praying and everything. The mom is still concerned, still praying. You know, she's still very, it's her child. She's still very upset. Still very bothered. No, there are no bones in this fish. Thank you. Whoever asked that, she just bit that no bones? Yeah, it's no bones. But anyway, that's really good, honestly. It's whiting fish, whiting. So anyway, the young man leaves. The mom and I continue to pray throughout the night. As all the way until almost the sun came up. This young lady still was incoherent. Okay? The only thing that the pastor told the mom why would a pastor not be there? I'm sorry. I'm confused. But anyway, you care so much. You want the money, but you don't want to be present for your job. Anyway, I don't hate anybody in the church. I'm not tearing down the church, but certain people know what they're doing and they're using that. They're using God to peddle themselves, to peddle their own name. But anyway, so she tells the mom before the young man departed. I heard the conversation because he had her on speakerphone. She goes, I prayed. She's got to fight now. It's on her. She's got to fight now. Your prayer means something more than her mother's. This is her ancestor. And your prayer is supposed to mean something more? I dare not try God like that. But anyway, so, and y'all like and share and send this to somebody if you want to. But so, they leave. Me and mom keep praying. Eventually, the young lady gets better. By the morning time, she's starting to move around. She's starting to be coherent. When the sun broke, I promise you this, when the sun broke, what ended up happening, I stayed the night at their house. Me and my children, I went back and got my children, came back because they were smaller at the time. And I slept on the floor in the mom's room. And on a little air mattress that she blew up for me. And I held her hand. She put her hand over the side of the bed and I held her hand. And she just cried until she went to sleep. Now, one thing I'm starting to realize about my destiny is that I'm also one of those people that's supposed to come along and motivate and catalyze. I'm supposed to challenge your faith, okay? Just challenge you to believe, period. And God will do the rest. Universe will do the rest. Source will do the rest. So, the young lady gets better, we go to church. The same situation with the young lady becoming incoherent and stuff happened again 2 weeks later. I was not aware of this. When the second incident happened, and I believe that this was a destiny swap trying to occur and it almost killed her. I do. Because this young lady is very vibrant in spirit. She's very pure-hearted. Even though she was being misled, she was very pure-hearted and serious about her spirituality. She was serious about her relationship with God and with people. But one thing about indoctrination is just like abusive conditioning. It's just like trauma bonding. You get scared to walk away from what you've been told because you're also told if you forget this way, you'll be damned. If you forget this way, you won't be prosperous. I'll tell you, since I left that place, I'm more prosperous. 21. We go to church. No lie, y'all. The pastor is talking about this situation. She calls herself an apostle, by the way. But she's talking about the situation, how this young lady got healed and everybody is clapping. No lie, y'all. I turn, everybody's facing the mom who usually sits in the back of the church, and they're clapping because the credit was given to the mom, which of course I could care less. I'm glad that a mother figure of she seemed to be a mother figure to me too. I called her mama as well. She called me daughter. So I was okay with that. By all means. When I turned around, looked over my shoulder at mom, at mother, you know, my spiritual mother at that time. And then I turned back around and looked in the pulpit. And I promise you, 22, I promise you, this pastor's face was like this reptilian looking, I don't know what the hell it was. And I blinked really quickly, and I didn't change my smile or anything like that. I didn't stop clapping because I was always told if they become aware that you're aware, they will attack you. And this woman, this thing rather, was looking at me with this scowl, like this evil grin, like, what's that movie? Smile. The Smile. It's a horror movie. That same fucking look. And I did not, my heart started to race. And I heard in my ear, quiet, my child. Quiet, my child. I felt safe immediately. I knew that God was not going to let anything happen to me, even though I was in the midst of people who probably were submitted to this thing. So that's one experience. The second experience was in a recent relationship where the individuals were influencing my lover, who is significantly younger than me, but unknown to him, all of these spiritual things that go on. And unknown to me, that these motherfuckers do shit like this. You know, I didn't know. Destiny swap is real sneaky. So what was happening, this is his stepmom. His stepmom would call up, hey, how y'all guys doing? Da, 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 da. If we're having an argument, she'd let one person vent, call the other person. Oh, well, he said, she said. That's low level energy, y'all. Deceptiveness and confusion and gossip, that shit is so low level. I'm telling you the truth. That will draw you into the deepest pit of despair quicker than anything else you could do out here. So anyway, once I realized that she was doing that, I stopped talking to her. She became very angry that I stopped talking to her. She would call the young man's phone, have herself put on speakerphone, and like, oh, you don't call me anymore. And me, I'm not going to be boisterous or anything like that until the time comes, because I know my God, he'll kill people. 24/44. He'll kill people. He's done it before. So I said, I don't call myself lately. And I didn't say anything else. This same woman became upset with her husband, either because he cheated or wouldn't give her what she wanted. Who knows? He cheats on a regular basis. So that lets you know already right there. There's no respect, there's no love, and there's nothing but deceit in this dynamic. People who don't know true love will not be able to recognize true love. Her response was going to something called, I'm not even going to name it because I don't even want to give that place or party any type of power or promotion. But it's a big party in this big open field. They're playing loud music. They're doing drugs. People are essentially like half naked. Some of them are having sex out in the open. Yes, that type of thing. That's what she went to as a retaliation against her husband. Now, why I would want advice from someone like that, why I would even want to be friends with someone like that, I don't know. But I don't want to. I know that much. She was upset that I didn't laugh about the fact that she went to that as a get back. But what was happening, I started to notice, this is how I know an energy swap was going on, a destiny swap. My money started to get jacked up. I've always been blessed, y'all, monetarily. Even if I'm broke, I've never been wanting for anything. My health, I've always been healthy. Always. I was in several sports in high school, and I'm still quite active now, almost to 40 years old. My family outside of this home started to get affected in those same manners. Health, money, their homes, they were arguing a lot. And I realized over time that these things started happening around the time that I became sexually intimate with this person I was with. Then it dawned on me. This woman, this stepmother, she violates her husband's energy. You don't get a reading on anybody without their permission. The fact that you guys watch and like and subscribe, that's implied permission. Okay? So she got readings done on her husband. And one of the readings that she got done by this spiritualist or tarot, I think she tried to do like voodoo on me or something, and the shit didn't work, and she got pissed. Too. I won't even go into that in this video. That's too much. But one of the readings that she received, the reader said, don't get pregnant again. If you do, you're going to die. Do you know, well, I lost a baby in October 2023. It was a stillborn. And I love my son. I know he's with me. And I know he's strong. But do you know the only thing that I could focus on was getting pregnant? I didn't even want it. Like, it was so weird. This is not regular baby fever. Like, every single day I was thinking about having a baby. And I'm like, where's this coming from? Like, I recognized it as not my energy. Then it dawned on me. You want to kill me. First off, you want to marry me off to your stepson. So now that we'll be spiritually tied in that way. And then you want to kill me because guess what? Through birth, that baby will tie them to my family's destiny. Y'all, it's deep, y'all. It's deep. It's deep. Destiny swap is deep. And mother of foes do stuff like this. It's deep. But y'all, needless to say, I'm not around those people anymore. They're not around me. And their lives are falling apart. I don't laugh at that. I don't take pleasure in it because I still love people in general. And I love this man. I still love him. I want the best for him. But if a person or a family or a generation is cursed, there's not much of anything you can do about it, honey. That shit is earned. Somewhere they made a choice. The living person, because we don't take on anybody else's karma or their debt or anything most times. But somewhere the living person made a choice to violate spiritual laws knowingly. See, that's the part right there. The knowing is the intent. It fucked your head up, didn't it? We violate spiritual laws all the time, but we're forgiven of most of them because we don't fucking know. But once you know, baby, you gotta do the right thing. I would like for you guys to share your destiny swap experiences too. Share them. Put in the comments. Put in a comment. If you were with or around people where your mind, your interests just dwindled, like the things you were interested, it's almost like a deep, deep depression. Your interest just dwindled. And once you go into negative energy and doing negative things like gossiping and setting people up and breaking the spiritual laws and stuff, you start to, your energy level and your actual status spiritually drops. That way they can attach, because these people that are doing shit like this, if you have a destiny, you have to be in high energy. I'm sorry. It's no, even if you're feeling bad, your energy level is still high. High vibes, love vibes, all that shit, it's still there. You don't give up on self or life, but these people don't know love or life. They know being conniving and backstabbing and all of those negative, those really evil things. That's the word, evil. Evil is one thing to be sad or bad, but it's another thing to be evil because you're doing it with intent. You're doing it on purpose. Poking fun at people, stop doing that. 3131, one of y'all do it and you get a kick out of that shit. That's low level energy and you're going to mess yourself up. You're going to bypass your own destiny. And when your money and your life and your health start getting fucked up, don't say you weren't warned. If you're a cross watcher, please, you got to get yourself right if you're going to be with this collective, boo. We're higher level beings. We're divine beings over here. But I'll leave you with this. Once you see the signs in someone's life that they may be of low level energy, I would be very wary. Especially if they want to seem to attach really quickly. Or if they just want to be around you all the time. Or they want to, that stuff is dangerous, baby. You can create soul ties and energy ties and cords in many more ways than sex. Or sharing a plate of food. You feel me? It's me, you, and my ancestors here. So anybody that tries that shit is going to be really, really upset with themselves. I'm just telling you. I got me some milk too, y'all. Because this hot sauce ain't nothing to play with. But yeah. I'm going to go ahead and finish enjoying my food. Probably find a movie. I hope this message finds you well. And I hope it informs you. There's many, many videos about destiny swapping, okay? Many videos. 3303. Somebody needs to go and find that knowledge, okay? The third house. Somebody's a Gemini, okay? They try to do this shit during Mercury retrograde. Talking to you crazy. Coming close to you. Maybe through your siblings and stuff like that. Your car may be messing up and stuff. It's something, someone here, I don't know why I was led to look at the houses. Your conscious mind is being fuddled. Like you have a hard time remembering things. Okay? This ain't me. This is somebody that's listening. If you got it this far in the video, this is for you. Okay? Take what sticks. Don't take anything else. If it's not you. But if it's you, and you understand what's going on, you feel like you want to go on rides all the time. Just for no reason. You want to go back and forth, like just drive around the town or something like that. Like you have this thing in your mind to get lost. Just to kind of disappear. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you resonate, drop it in the comments. Hit that like. Share your experiences, y'all. Please, I want to learn from you too. I want to learn from you too. As I'm putting out, I want to get some put back in. So I love you guys. I'm going to finish my food. So this is too good and I don't want to smack in y'all's ear. Stay in high energy. Stay in love energy. Make sure your intent is right. And always keep your cipher, your surrounding group of people and all that stuff that's close in your energy and accessible to you. Keep that shit clean. Okay? I love y'all. Stay blessed. Go get you a plate. Because I'm about to tear this up. Mwah. Peace.